Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. Today's news, Geneva adopts what's believed to be the highest minimum wage in the world at $25 an hour. Voters in Geneva, Switzerland have agreed to introduce a minimum wage in the canton that is the equivalent of $25 an hour, believed to be the highest in the world. According to government data, 58% of the voters in the canton were in favor of the initiative set the minimum wage at 23 Swiss francs an hour, which was backed by a coalition of labor unions and aimed at fighting poverty, favoring social integration, and contributing to the respect of human dignity. Excuse me. While Switzerland has no national minimum wage law, Geneva is the fourth of 26 cantons to vote on the matter in recent years after Neuchâtel, Jura, and Ticino. This new minimum wage will apply to about 6% of the canton's workers as of November 1st. Geneva State Councilor Mauro Paglia told CNN in a statement, Communauté Geneva d'Action Syndicale, the umbrella organization of unions in Geneva, described the result as a historic victory, which would directly benefit 30,000 workers, two-thirds of whom are women. The decision was also praised by Michel Charette, president of the Groupement Transfrontalier European, an association of workers commuting between Geneva and nearby France. Charette told The Guardian that the coronavirus pandemic has shown that a certain section of the Swiss population cannot live in Geneva, and argued that the new minimum wage is the minimum to not fall below the poverty line and find yourself in a very difficult situation. Charette didn't return a CNN request for comment. The Geneva Council of State, the local executive branch, said in an opinion against the measure that the new minimum wage would be the highest in the world, a measure introduced by citizens. A Swiss system of direct democracy calls voters to exercise their right 4 times a year and allows citizens to collect signatures to introduce popular initiatives to be enacted. On two occasions, in the past, initiatives to set a mandatory minimum wage in Geneva have been submitted to the population and rejected, said Paglia, who is in charge of the Department of Security, Labor, and Health for the Geneva Canton. The 2 previous votes took place in 2011 and 2014, and in the latest case, it was a national referendum to introduce an hourly minimum wage of 22 Swiss francs, which found 76% of voters were opposed. On 27 September, a new vote on this subject was finally accepted for a salary of 23 Swiss francs per hour, or slightly more than 4,000 Swiss francs per month for an activity of 41 hours per week. Paglia added that's roughly $4,347 per month. While a $25 per hour minimum wage might look staggering from a U.S. perspective, where the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, context is key. Geneva is the 10th most expensive city in the world according to the Economist Intelligence Unit's 2020 Worldwide Cost of Living Survey. The roughly 4,000 Swiss franc workers will now put them slightly above the poverty line of 3,968 Swiss francs for a household of 2 adults and 2 children under 14, as estimated by the Swiss Federal Statistical Office in 2018. Switzerland is among the wealthiest nations in the world, but it wasn't shielded from the damaging impact of the coronavirus pandemic on its economy. Overall, the Swiss government's economy expert groups expect the adjusted Swiss GDP to fall by minus 6.2% in 2020 and averaging unemployment to be around 4%, the lowest economic slump since 1975. Did coronavirus impact the vote? Michael Gramp, Deloitte chief economist in Switzerland, said he believed the coronavirus pandemic had an impact in determining how many voters were in favor of passing the minimum wage initiative. Low income workers in the service sector were the most affected by the lockdown measures put in place in Switzerland. I think many people realize how many people are working in these sectors. It's not like everyone here is working for a bank or a chocolate factory. We also have a broad service sector that was hit hard due to the lockdown, Grant told CNN. It definitely helped push the vote towards almost 60%, he added. Grant believes more cantons will enact minimum wage legislation in the future, but Paglia doesn't believe the pandemic had a significant impact on the vote. Compared to other countries, given the strong social security coverage in Switzerland, the economic effects of COVID are currently being contained, even though job losses are already occurring in the sectors that have been directly affected, such as tourism, hotels, and restaurants, he said. Long lines for free food, those job losses are forcing people to seek help. Mile long lines of free food distributions in Geneva made headlines worldwide, and they continue to take place, according to Charlemagne Hernandez, the co founder of Caravan de Solidarite, an activist group in Geneva that has been organizing these distributions throughout the pandemic. Hernandez told CNN his group helped an estimated 6,000 to 9,000 people each week during the pandemic, distributing bags of fresh produce and dry goods sourced mostly through donations. Hernandez said he believes the adoption of the minimum wage initiative in Geneva was necessary, as unemployment represents an existential threat for so many low income workers in the city. It will boil down to not having enough to eat, he said. Geneva is known as the humanitarian capital of the world due to the presence of so many international organizations and UN offices focused on humanitarian affairs. Hernandez says solidarity in the city is much stronger these days than usual, as people respond to calls for donations in great numbers, helping the food distributions to continue. To those who are skeptical about poverty being an issue in a wealthy country such as Switzerland, Hernandez invites not to judge. I come from a slum in Manila originally, so it's true. It's not the same kind of poverty, but if you're hungry, you're hungry. That's a benchmark you cannot deny, Hernandez said. So, do you agree with Geneva raising the minimum wage? I'm trying to figure out why the hell they ain't raising our money in America, giving us a chance. Like, shoot, even though we making some money, but still, we still should be getting some perks and we still should be getting some love on that end, man. Um, to me, the raising the minimum wage, that's good. But at the same time, how will it affect your taxes and affect the other parts of your city? And it seems like they got it under control. But like I said, I don't know the whole story. This is in Geneva. I don't live there. I don't know anybody from there. So if you know somebody from there, you ought to ask them, like, how does this affect your economy? Like, does this help or does it hurt? All I know is America ain't doing that shit at all. I don't care what you tell me. America ain't doing that shit. They ain't raising nothing. Not minimum wage to what? 25. We promised y'all motherfuckers 15. Hell no. We ain't going no damn 25. So to me, it's a good gesture for the city, because the city to me is doing it because they want to keep the perception that they're the humanitarian city of the world. It's all about perception. It doesn't matter about the reality or the gist or what's really going on. It's about how you perceive it. It's like if I walk into this house with this married couple, but they're putting on this good front like, hey baby, I love you too, smooches, I caught it. So once they go from there, you think everything cool. As soon as you leave, they like, I can't stand you, motherfucker. I can't stand you either, bitch. And they just going off. But they make the perception that nothing's going on. I done been around couples and people who were business partners as well as in a relationship where they didn't like each other, but they never showed it. You never thought that. And then they divorced like 3-4 months down the line. You like, damn, what happened? And then they explain it to you what happened. I've had a lot of friends I known like that, man. A lot of friends who've been through that. See me, I'm a person who open, so I don't care. I'm gonna talk about you on Facebook everywhere, which was messy. And to me, I learned my lesson that Facebook and other platforms don't help with your relationship. It just hurts it. So but in this day and time, because this day and time, if you're not around your friends and everything, then everything, you don't feel the same way. But to me, this is a great gesture by Geneva. I still think the U.S. I feel the U.S. could do some things like that because they just don't want to, and it's because of the pink folk basically don't want to use their power to change the structure because it would bankrupt America because America is nothing but a stolen land, a stolen principle, a land that was stolen, and a land where they basically dropped the children of Israel here and basically just put us in the fields and put us in the house to separate us, to make us hate one another. And it still goes on today. You got team light skin, you got team dark skin. Instead of giving us our reparation and raising some of the money. Now, I agree with this man named T who be in Carcino for Life's lives. Make sure you go subscribe to Carcino for Life. The brother has a lot of insight. Go to his One Crack and his Screen Fiend. He basically was saying everybody wouldn't be able to handle reparations. A lot of brothers or sisters wouldn't be able to handle it because they never had money before. And I said, yeah, that's true, but the thing is, we need to come together and help those people. See, if we help people in poverty states or impoverished states and show them how to save money, how to stack their money, how to put money here, how to put money there, we would be so much better. That's the problem. We don't have a lot of financial advisors, and that's what we need in the black community. We need a lot of financial advisors. My buddy, Julian Riley, shout out to him. That's my brother. Went to school with him. He's a financial advisor. He helps you get the money. He helps you get the goals. He's a great dude, man. Check him out, Julian Riley on Instagram and Julian Riley on Facebook. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot to help the community and help brothers and sisters out there. He's a great dude, man, and he's helping. And we need more brothers like him in the community, helping with financial advisory, helping guys, helping kids, figure out where they're trying to go, what they're trying to do. And we need more trades, man. We need more trades. We need more we need more doctors, lawyers, we need more engineers, we need more mechanics. We need all of that. Black people have to learn how to be self-sufficient. And that's the problem with our community. A lot of us don't have it. And if a lot of us do grab and learn how to be self-sufficient, we don't want to share it to nobody else. It's like we're our own worst enemy at times. But I know I went off topic. I went on a rant. Sorry about that. But let me know what you think about it. Do you think this is a good thing for Geneva? I think it's a great thing. They're helping their poor. I just think it's more for the perception of keeping they're the humanitarian city and they're this beautiful. But they raised the price mostly because also it's expensive to live in Geneva. So that's why to me I think they also raised it because a lot of people weren't gonna make it in those circumstances. But thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and select all to receive upcoming content. If you want to donate to the page, cash at me at welcome to HDTV. That's the word welcome, the number 2, then HDIITV. And thank you for listening. We out. Live. Bye.